I'm here to tell the world that has clearly gone crazy that the Green Bay Packers will win the NFC North. The weather report says that we might see some bad times ahead for the Green Bay Packers. I tend to disagree. People are guessing that the Green Bay Packers will end up in the last place position in the NFC North just because they traded away Aaron Rodgers, who was, of course, a great Hall of Fame legitimate quarterback. But I do not believe that is true. Yes, the Packers will have one of the youngest teams around, and shifting from Rodgers to Jordan Love might cause a few problems, but there are a lot of good things to look forward to with the Packers in 2023. If you were to randomly arrange the 2023 NFC North rankings and then mix them up over and over again, any result you get could happen. Legit, it could happen. All four teams could potentially end up in any of the four spots. The Packers could go in many different directions. They could win a lot of games and make the playoffs if Jordan Love does a good enough job. Just be a game manager, make a few tough throws, don't be a superhero, but if not, they might end up with a high draft pick. Minnesota had a great season last year with a 13-4 record, but many of their wins were close, too close. So they were kicked out of the playoffs and might not make it back. Detroit did well in its last 10 games, but still has some things to figure out, especially on defense. And Chicago is the craziest one of all. Chicago made good use of its money and high draft picks. They'll be better, sure, fine, whatever. But they had a bad season last year with a 3-14 record. Could they really go from worst to first? Maybe, but they might need another year to rebuild. No one really knows. The NFC North is up for grabs, and the Packers have a fair chance to win it. Jordan Love is ready to play. This is the biggest factor in how the Packers will do this season. But my guess is Love will do well and prove the team's decision to move on from Rodgers was the right decision. Love spent the same amount of time as a backup as Rodgers did when he was behind Brett Favre. The Packers believe in Love just as much as they believed in Rodgers in 2008. It's not likely that Love will become a Hall of Fame level style quarterback like Rodgers did, but the Packers believe Love can be a top tier player and want to see what their 2020 first-round draft pick can do. He can throw the ball, which is important in the NFL, said Tom Clements, the Packers' veteran quarterback coach. He's athletic, smart, and usually makes good choices. He just needs to play more and work on making quick decisions and finding the right person to pass to, but he has all the skills you need in a quarterback. Rodgers missed most of the Packers' 2022 training season, which gave Love a chance to practice with the top offense. Love improved a lot from his first 2 years during those practices and then did great when he got a chance to play last year. In a game against Philadelphia on November 27th, Rodgers had to leave because of a rib injury. Love went in and did well, leading the Packers to score 10 points. Strangely enough, Love's standout performance happened almost exactly 15 years after Rodgers showed the Packers he could take over for Favre with a great performance in Dallas. Love played in 4 games in 2022 and ended the year with 195 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 112.2. It took some time, but Love turned into the type of player that Brian Gutekunst, the general manager, thought he would be when he traded up 4 spots in the 2020 draft to pick him. I think when players improve, it factors into all the decisions you make, Gutekunst said. We picked him for a reason in 2020. He's been improving, and it was nice to see him taking a big step forward this past year. This is Jordan Love's moment. Many will overlook the Packers without Aaron Rodgers, but Love showed last year that he can handle the pressure. He can handle the smoke. Love isn't a rookie, okay, guys? He has spent the past 3 seasons mastering Matt LaFleur's offense and learning from a future Hall of Famer. He practiced a lot with the top team during the last training season and more while Rodgers was healing from a broken thumb. The Packers have a great pair of running backs in Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon and a talented, experienced offensive line, ready to do whatever they can to help Jordan Love. The Packers reshaped the offense around him this spring. He now has a skilled group of receivers including Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed, Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft, Samori Toure, and Dontavion Wicks. That's a lot of people, a lot of different types of weapons who can catch passes. But I think the main question about the Green Bay Packers that no one's really noticing or approaching is, will the defense be strong again? Joe Barry, the Packers defensive coordinator, is under a lot of pressure. If Barry can't make things work this season, his time as a coordinator might be over. And the mediocrity was a big reason why the Packers missed the playoffs with an 8-9 record in the NFC. You'll find first-round picks, Pro Bowlers, and All-Pros on defense for the Packers, and they are everywhere. Let's go to the defensive line. Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt were both first-round picks. Clark has been picked for the Pro Bowl twice. Pass rushers Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness were both top 15 picks, while Preston Smith was a big addition. Inside linebackers, Devondre Campbell was named a first-team All-Pro in 2021, and Clay Walker, who's in his second year, was picked 22nd in the draft in the first round. The secondary, 3 more first-rounders, Jari Alexander, Eric Stokes, and Darnell Savage. Alexander's has been picked for the Pro Bowl and All-Pro twice. They added more talent to the defense in the draft after picking Lucas Van Ness in the first round. The Packers defense hasn't lived up to its potential in the past, but the talent is there, it's present, it's here. They have a good blend of experience and youth first-round picks and free agent add-ons. And they have Pro Bowl talent everywhere like we discussed. After 13 weeks, the Packers ranked low in rushing defense, middle of the pack in total defense, and were allowing over 23 points a game. Over the last 4 games, they allowed less than 18 points per game and improved in rushing and total defense. The Packers have a top trio of cornerbacks, a pair of athletic inside linebackers, and a group of pass rushers that are coming back, and athleticism up front. Betting on Barry, who hasn't been a successful defensive coordinator yet, is risky, but he is surrounded by talent that is in a quote-unquote win-now situation. Overall, despite Aaron Rodgers' departure, the Packers have reasons to be optimistic about the 2023 season. With Love taking the helm, a talented offensive line, a promising defense, and an improved special teams unit, the Packers could be competitive and surprise many in the league. But the key to their success will hinge on Love's performances, of course, and the team's ability to make necessary adjustments throughout the season. Matt LaFleur, you're on the clock. Jordan Love, you're on the clock. Time will tell if they will rise to the challenge. But one thing's for sure, the 2023 Packers won't be an easy team to beat. So this is the point-blank period truth. The NFC North is going to be owned by the Green Bay Packers, no question. I don't like this little weird world we're in where all of a sudden the Green Bay Packers are the team that everyone needs to be respecting. They will win this division. They will be the dark horses for a legitimate playoff run, and they will be the team to beat. The NFC North belongs to the Green Bay Packers, and the other 3 teams are going to be fighting for second place. 100%. There's no question. Packers fans, let me know what you think, though, in the comments. Do you ride with your team? Do you believe Jordan Love can do it? Do you believe that this defense can take that next step? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe.